Welcome to Politics Done Right. We're here live at Netroots Nation 2022, and I have with us two heroes. You guys know what we feel about the union movement, the union progressive movement. This is the instantiation of them right now. We are here and happy to be with Laila Dalton. Welcome to Politics Done Right, and Bill Whitmire. Welcome to Politics Done Right. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing amazing. It's wonderful being here and being with a bunch of people who are so inspired by the same thing and want to help us.
Yeah, definitely. It's great. It's great being here. We love to be here. We've met some great people so far. This is our first conference, first Netroots Nation conference. And it's fantastic. And like Laila said, it's great having all the support.
Well, let me tell you why you're the heroes. I personally believe every single worker should be a part of a union. There are some that would want you to believe that you don't need a union. We, Daddy Corporation, will do just fine by you. But by the same token, all these corporations have their own unions. They're called trade unions within themselves, where they go and they lobby together, but they don't want that right for you. Laila, tell me your story about Starbucks, where you're at in Phoenix, Arizona. Tell me your story.
Well, I'll say all started at late January when I recently got out of the hospital about a month before, and my new manager, she wanted me to put work before my health, before my education, and I didn't know what to do because I love my job, I love my coworkers, and Bill, my co-leader here, he just became a supervisor, got no training, so we were both in really bad situations. We saw that our store was going downhill, and I kept speaking up to management, and they kept blowing me off, just wouldn't talk to me. So Bill, it came to the night that Bill came up to me and said, we can make a change, because I thought I was going to have to quit. I wanted another day off since I just got out of the hospital, and a part of the reason I go to Starbucks is to get free ASU. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they wanted me to either demote myself or transfer to a new store just because I can't be a full-time student and worker, I realized that even though I'm putting in my all, they don't care. They care more about profit over morals. They care more about they care more about making money than our livelihood, and we can't put work first all the time. So that's when Bill and I got started, and Bill really is a big reason why I got very empowered by unions, because I never knew what a union was until Bill.
Well, Bill, tell us a little bit about what your part in the unionization there in Arizona.
Yeah, so basically what happened was I saw what was happening in our store. And
you were a manager.
A supervisor.
Actually,
I was a barista, and then I got promoted to supervisor.
Right.
Yeah, and I saw what was happening in our store. So some of the things going on were longtime supervisors that had trained me and mentored me, had been with the company 4 years, and they wanted to move up. They wanted to be assistant store managers. They wanted to be managers, but they weren't getting promoted. But the company was bringing in outside hires, like people that work for Walgreens, to be store managers at Starbucks, which to me made no sense. Why are they passing these people over that are such
After
great
you've
workers?
Invested at
I'm watching this happen to all my friends, and they're leaving the company to go work elsewhere, right? And I thought, well, this is not right. This is not equal. This is not equitable. What's going on here? And then I saw what was happening to Laila. Laila's was following all the right, steps to make our store better. She was going to the manager and having meetings. She was going to the district manager, having meetings, and they were making all these promises, but nothing was ever changing. And then Laila was really frustrated. Basically, half of our staff was ready to quit the store. And I'm like, I can't have this. I can't have all my friends quitting. I can't see this happening to Laila. And I knew what was going on in Buffalo with the union movement.
Right.
And I've been a community activist for years, but I never organized a union.
Right.
So I reached out to the Buffalo people and I says, hey, this is what's going on in our store. We need some help. And they gave me some pointers for how I could start talking to my coworkers kind of behind the scenes about, hey, have y'all heard what's going on in Buffalo? Have you heard about unions? And one thing led to another. And then Laila and I had that conversation, and then things just really took off, and that's how it started.
Well, let me tell you how important that is change doesn't come from the top. Some politician telling you, okay, we're going to do this for you. You have to do it yourself. And what you guys did, you did it yourself. It is so important what you did. Now, I I wrote several books. All those books there, I wrote them at a Starbucks. Okay, I sat down. I at my Starbucks. All my baristas knew me. We would go there and sit down, and I always loved what Starbucks promoted itself to be, and that is the reason why I did all my work. I bought my salads, my sandwiches, and did everything there because they were treating their people right. I paid overpriced coffee, overpriced everything,
Yeah.
because the goal was we give our workers a working wage. We give them college education. We do good health care. And then I started hearing baristas would hear me speak like that. And they'll take me aside and says, things are not always the way they promote it to be.
Right.
And that's what they told me. And then I'm seeing one at a time. And when I saw the union movement in Buffalo, and I think they attempted it in some other places, I was like, it's about time. So when I tell you guys that you all are heroes and to keep up doing what you're doing, that is exactly what I mean. And I hope you have a support system. I don't know that, meaning as you guys are leaders in this movement, I hope that you have a network that can financially sustain you as you're doing this. Do you?
Well, yeah.
Well, and that's exactly what we're working on right now. So there, Starbucks Workers United does have a strike fund that they just got going for. So when a store goes on strike, I believe it's $1 million fund that they have,
Right.
Which is great because the affiliate of Workers United is SEIU. So basically, what's really cool is that basically warehouse workers that are SEIU members, institutional laundry workers that are SEIU members,
Right.
They are supporting this $1 million fund. So it's literally rank and file workers
Right.
that are saying, hey, let's support these Starbucks workers. Which is amazing. And then the other thing that we started for the fired workers is Workers United just launched a fund through Act Blue.
Right.
And so that's going on. And
How can folks reach your Act Blue to make sure that people listening to this podcast
actually, if you go on Twitter, there's all kinds of things about Act Blue on there. So it's at the
No, but I know about Act Blue, but
Yeah.
I mean, how to specifically target your fund? The fund for the Starbucks
so it's
group.
the Starbucks Solidarity Fund,
Okay.
and it's it's a Starbucks National Solidarity Fund, and it's sponsored by Act Blue.
Great.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important, Laila, because you're and please, this is a positive. You are young, and the reason I say that is it's because I am happy to see young people understand that what some of us old farts went through with the union movements earlier needs to be reinvigorated. In fact, it needs to be rebuilt, because there's a time we were over 30% unionization in this country. We're way down. We need every worker that's hourly to be unionized in this country. And it only happens when you have a start. And watching you guys doing that, I think that is what we're all about. So give me some closing statements about what you want to see going forward, Laila.
Well, I think the biggest thing is for workers to know their value and to know that it doesn't matter if you work at McDonald's, if you're a janitor, if you're a doctor, everyone should be treated the same, and everyone should be able to provide for their family and feel like they do have options. And maybe they start at McDonald's, but maybe they want to grow. They want to go to school, and they should be able to, let's just say you shouldn't be working 40 hours plus and still struggling to pay bills. And it's very hard for people who are trying to work, who don't have that support, but they also want to go to school. They also want to venture out, and maybe they want to be a doctor, maybe they want to be a psychiatrist and stuff. Like, it's very hard to do that. And it's hard to see a lot of people don't understand that not everyone's working at McDonald's because they say they're lazy. They say that, oh, they don't want an education. they don't have a choice. And it feels like when you're born, whatever class you're born in, you're stuck there. And I feel like the only way for us to actually get out of there, for people who are born into poverty, but maybe want to be a doctor, is actually to have a say in their workplace. Because living off $12 an hour with no benefits, barely even getting health care, if you even get that, that's not enough. And workers will never be able to rise and be treated the way they should be if they don't start voicing their opinion and realizing that you could make a change. It's just about ending the war, and you'll lose battles, you'll win battles, but at the end of the day, if you don't stop the war, if you don't stop the cycle, we're always going to be treated just
Laila,
replaceable.
that passion has to be transmitted to your entire generation and beyond, because they're most of the people doing us harm right now, economically and socially, are making the bet that you are not going to perform, and you have to prove them wrong. You guys are doing a good job of doing that right now. Keep doing that. Give me a closer.
Definitely. So what we're really looking for is solidarity among all workers. So between our campaign and the Amazon campaign, basically this has sparked a huge movement. So now we've got Trader Joe's that has come on board. We've also got in Arizona, the cannabis movement is starting to step up. So we're calling out for workers, just like you said, we're calling out for hourly workers. Now's the time. This is a golden opportunity to organize, for example, the entire food and beverage industry. It's time for the entire food and beverage industry to organize and come together, because when we come together as workers, we have true worker power when we come together. So we're looking to work with all workers. And one of the things that's happened is we have other workers that have been reaching out to us from other industries. So a lot of CEOs should be pretty scared right now, because we outnumber the higher ups in the executive offices. The ones in the ivory towers, there's only a few of them. There's millions of us, right? And we can make this happen right now. This is a golden moment.
Bill and Laila, it's been my pleasure, like you guys would not imagine, to have both of you speak here at Politics Done Right.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number 1, subscribe to our channel, and number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.